The starting quarterback will be part of the team to help select a new coach. He's going to be working with us, and anything else, his feelings, I want to keep that private. I don't want this in Josh's head. This was my decision, and I know I didn't answer your question, but I did. I hope in a roundabout way. It's his personal opinion.
Terry Pagula from yesterday. Championship Sunday. Which game's first? AFC.
AFC
Broncos,
first, 3 o'clock.
Patriots.
Yep.
How much of not wanting the Patriots to win, let's do a little pie here, is not wanting the Patriots to win for Bills Mafia out there? And how much of is Diggs? Will you be upset if Diggs makes a Super Bowl?
Depends on the person, because I don't care about Diggs making the Super Bowl. So it's all New England for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess, though, like, what do I hate on New England? I hate the logo. I hate Kraft still. Right? Like, Kraft will get me there.
Yeah.
Vrabel's not a big enough villain for me personally yet. Maybe he should be, though, because the Titans drove me nuts. I guess I just have too much respect for Vrabel to really hate him.
Can I give you
but that can change. He says one more dumb thing, and I might
twisted theory, like, what would you think about a Super Bowl involving Jarrett Stidham?
I know, like,
wouldn't that be
that's the thing
bad? Shouldn't we all?
Sure, it would be
terrible.
terrible.
We all accept New England making it in the interest that someone then beats them there?
Yeah.
As opposed to my Super Bowl is Sam Darnold and Jarrett Stidham.
I know, and like the idea that Seattle would just pummel them because what is Jarrett Stidham going to do to any great defense?
Also, do you think Seattle will win? The Rams should have beat them in the last meeting in Seattle. They were in firm control of the game.
Right.
And then a punt return touchdown and the goofiest 2-point conversion you've ever seen in your life. Like, the game was weird. Really weird.
It would be. I guess it depends how it. Does it depend how it looks against New England? I can't imagine Stidham doing anything on Sunday that would make me think, oh, they could beat Seattle.
If New England were to win the Super Bowl, we'll get back to your calls. What other singular sports season is viewed, granted, like flags fly forever, is viewed as, but come on. The Eagles almost had that. They went to the Super Bowl because they won an NFC Championship game against not a backup, but a third-string guy and a quarterback with an arm injury that he couldn't throw a football.
Second half, they didn't play quarterback.
Yes. They won an NFC Championship game like that. They lost that Super Bowl.
And they played Daniel Jones the week before that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the.
But then they played the Chiefs.
And they lost.
Which may. No, they won that one, right? No, they lost.
They lost.
Yeah. So that would have made up for it, I think, a little bit anyway, because they would have beaten Kansas City. If New England does it, it'll be the same thing, right? Like, their path might look easy because, the Chargers had no linemen, and then they beat Jared Stidham, and they beat a Texans offense with the worst quarterback performance you've ever seen. They did that.
I do think
it wouldn't be as bad.
I do think they forced a lot of that, though. Like,
they did.
When the Bills played them, they did not have Milton Williams, and he's a major piece of that defense.
He was in Stroud's face all day.
Yep.
So
he leads their run defense, so... New England...
Yeah, if they won the Super Bowl, I wouldn't do that a lot. I think the regular season, you could definitely do that. But if they beat those three teams, I'm not going to do a lot with it. But if then they beat the Rams or the Seahawks, like, that'll be impressive enough for me. So I won't want to throw it away or anything of the sort. It's going to feel like... Will it be even more embarrassing on the Bills? Like, I don't know. I don't know what it will feel like if New England does it, because it's not Belichick and Brady. If they've leapfrogged you to that extent, and now Drake May has a Super Bowl, yeah, that's going to feel very weird.
How about the Bills side of it? Root for New England because you want them to talk to Davis Webb. Root for the Rams because you want them to get in Clint Kubiak. Otherwise, you really might, if the Seahawks win, and their offense has been good, and Darnold's been really, good for the most part, except against the Rams. And except against Detroit last year. He was a disaster in that game, too.
Yep.
If Seattle wins, do they have a coach before Clint Kubiak even would be able to be interviewed? Is it the timing didn't work out and we didn't get to talk to that guy? I told you the person that alerted me to the McDermott firing before it happened told me that Kubiak was the top name on their list, and they cannot talk to him yet.
I don't think they would hire, if that's true, I don't think they would hire someone without talking to the guy they had top on their list.
Lucas in Rochester. Lucas, good morning.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Good.
So I just want to preface, I hope that they go offensive-minded head coach. I would love Clint Kubiak. I don't know how much ties he has to the organization. I read something, maybe he has overlap with Terrence Gray, the assistant GM, whatever type of connection that is. But I wonder if the ownership and Bean and all his assistants can talk themselves into, like, we have Josh Allen. We can score 30 points a game with Josh Allen. Let's get a defensive-minded head coach that can really fortify the defense, get us the stops in the playoffs, even though they did the last couple of years, and it actually was on the offense that made the problem. But I was thinking, you guys think that would be a mistake to go defensive side of the ball instead of supporting Josh with an offensive mind? Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Lucas.
I do think it would be a mistake, personally. I think they have an opportunity here, and to not have to go through the cycle of one coordinator to the next. Is this guy good at it? We got to find out. We take 2 years to figure that out. Then you fire him, or he's really good and he leaves. And just, I think ending that wheel is an opportunity here that they should take.
The flip side of that, if I was to try to make the case of the other, is that with McDermott, I had always hoped, and if I've got a great defensive coach, I should be able to not spend as much over there and get better results, which McDermott, by the way, we thought did this year, right? If I've got a great defensive coach, then I don't need to go trade 2 firsts for this guy and spend an endless amount of draft capital on the defensive line, which the Bills have done and never gotten results for it. Now, is that because of McDermott's scheme on the defensive line, or is it because they don't get the right picks on the defensive line? So the only case I would make for the defensive coach is they hire Anarumo, and he's like, all right, great. Be the Eagles. What are the Eagles? Pay everybody to have the best offense possible, and just draft defense. Young, athletic, fast defense. How many big contracts the Eagles have on their defense? Is it 1?
Yeah, it's not many.
They don't pay on their defense. They let guys walk, and they just keep slotting guys in. Now, maybe some of their defensive linemen they will sign to big deals, but that'd be my case to make for the defensive coach. I wouldn't do it. I'd go offense as well.
Well, the Eagles are even. I don't think the Bills would be this point because I think the quarterback is so much better. But the Eagles do that on offense, but they don't have the right play caller.
Right.
And in these years where they haven't, right, their quarterback can't make up for it the same way Allen can. But you see, like, they've got elite talent all over the offense, but their play caller stinks. So what happens on offense? It's terrible.
Yeah. Joe in Orchard Park. Hey, Joe.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Good.
I got 2 things for you. I wanted to ask one. I'm a little younger, so when I was first starting watching the Bills, I wasn't too into it when the new coaching came in, when Sean McDermott came in. So I wasn't as into it as I am now. I wanted to ask, do you guys think that it might be worth it to wait for Kubiak and kind of just interview how we are now and wait, see what happens? Is it worth taking that risk of not signing him now, or signing a guy now and waiting for him? That's my one question. My other thing I wanted to touch on, I think why Josh maybe hasn't said too much or really hasn't said anything at all right now. Pagula really touched on how after the Broncos game, that's kind of when he made his final decision, or that's when it came into his mind of, this is the reason I'm firing Sean. I almost feel like Josh is quiet because, like he said in his post-game interview, he feels like that loss is on him. So maybe in a way he feels like he's taking responsibility for McDermott getting fired, which could also be like a reason Pagula also said Josh's opinion is private, don't want to let this get in his head because, like I said, he might be feeling like it's on him that McDermott got fired.
Thanks, Joe. The only thing I'd say is, what would the owner say if Josh said, don't do it? And he said, I'm doing it. What would the owner say when asked, what were Josh's feelings on this? He would say exactly what he said. I'll keep his feelings private. I don't want this getting in his head.
Yep.
If Josh said, I don't think you should fire him. The $10 million question that we didn't get to yesterday at the press conference, in part because there were 2 men up there and it was a little bit disjointed. Brandon, what did you think when Terry told you he'd made this decision? That answer would have been, very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Were you shocked? Did you think it came out of nowhere?
Mm-hmm.
That it had reached this? What was your immediate response? Okay, I'll get to work. Or, oh, are you sure? He did a great job this year. What did you say? That part of the story, you know what? We'll probably never find it out because it'll be so far down the road. And now we'll get to the next time we hear from the GM, the coach is hired. And now we're talking about.
And maybe the next time we hear from the quarterback, the coach is hired.
Right. And they'll just we're going to talk about the future. You know, that's in the past now.
On Kubiak, I haven't decided how I feel about whether he's worth waiting for. Is he such a good candidate that it's worth waiting for? I don't really know what to make of him. Like, this year was so good in Seattle, but his resume is tough to figure out for me. And how much do I want to factor in that his previous 2 seasons as coordinator in stops that it did not go well, including in New Orleans the year prior? Who is his guy? He had 1 year in San Francisco. Does that make him a Shanahan guy? He had 1 year with Stefanski. Does that make him on that tree? He grew up under Bill Musgrave and his dad in the league. So is he a Gary Kubiak, Bill Musgrave guy? I don't know. Talking to someone from there that knows about him or one of his other stops, I think would be valuable. Because I've watched some of Seattle this year, and they look super impressive. But, has that guy ever been a name to think about for this before this season? And again, I don't know what his, ideology is on offense, because I don't really know if he should count as, a Shanahan guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a tough time with him. I think he's a good candidate, but, if you told me right now, you can wait for Kubiak, but you're going to lose Grant Nudinsky. That, he's gonna take a different job. Then,
which he probably won't. He'll probably just stay with the Jags.
Has he interviewed with Baltimore?
Yeah, I feel like this is his first run of interviews.
That's right.
If I was just going with the cadence of guys getting jobs, I'd be surprised if he got any job this time. I think next year he gets a job.
He's the only one that I'm starting to get really intrigued with, where I would say, okay, maybe you don't wait for Kubiak, you hire him. Anybody else I think is going to be there waiting for you. Other than maybe Baltimore. If Baltimore tells one of the Bills candidates, you can have the Baltimore job right now, you're probably not getting that guy.
Davis,
but
Davis
is someone running if I wait for Buffalo, I got to tell Cleveland today. Cleveland wants to know. Some of those jobs I don't think rate enough. I think you should have your pick of the litter even if you want to wait for Kubiak. And that's if he makes a Super Bowl.
If he makes Super Bowl,
it could be again, Monday you could talk to him.
You're not even contacting him until February 9th.
Yeah, I mean,
Some
of these processes have been going on since the fall, though, right? I mean, I don't know if the Bills, that's been the case. Right, someone's got to have an idea of what his motivation is and what, even though they haven't interviewed the guy yet, I'm sure they have an opinion of him and that they would know what his interest level would be.
League circles, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone talks to someone who talks to someone.
All right. We get a break in. More of your phone calls. We're going to do, we got the pick of the week. We got Shots of Audio, our Thursday segment for the best sound around the sports world. Maybe some involving this Bills news. You can stick with us. 803-0550, Jeremy and Joe. Pick of the week coming up.